Have you ever said this statement before, or even heard someone else saying this statement? I just can't wrap my head around someone having such evil thoughts or doing such evil things. If you've said this or thought this or heard someone else say this, today I'm going to tell you why I always say no to learning things from experience. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Chidon Pofu. I'm your personal emotional intelligence detective. Welcome to the Fit with Chido family, where we go beyond physical fitness, striving for mental and emotional fitness. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications. Today, we're talking about my favorite topic, and that is say no to learning things from experience. It never has to get really bad for you to stand up for yourself, for you to say no, for you to cut a friendship, for you to break up with someone who is abusive or harming you in some way. It never has to get that bad. People always show you signs of who they are, either in the jokes they tell, the way they approach you, the things they say. They always show you who they are, and you don't need to wait for them to do something that's catastrophic for you to decide you don't want that person in your life. If they do things that show you that they have capacity for certain behaviors, it's good for you to distance yourself. Or at least watch them for a bit. Don't just blindly trust people just because they've been in your life for long, or just because they say they care about you, or just because they are your partner. If you're part of my TikTok series, The 10 Orders of Self-Preservation, you already knew the topic of this episode as I shared it. And this is also something we address in that series, how you can effectively stand up for yourself and prioritize your peace and your safety. Today, it's going to seem like I'm scaring you, but I am not. I am just telling you the reality of things. A lot of people have a difficult time understanding that there is someone who could look at you, not know you, and decide, I am going to befriend that person or I am going to date that person so that I can destroy whatever joy or light I see in them. There are people who look at you and think, I'm going to make this person my life's mission to harm them and make sure they don't reach their fullest potential. A lot of people find it hard to believe this because that's not how they think. We all have this bias of projecting our nature onto other people. The problem with that is, if you encounter someone who is really evil, you can fail to see what they're doing to you because you are putting a mirror in front of their face, and whatever good deeds you're doing for them, you're interpreting that as the good deeds they're doing for you. So when you look back at some point when they've done something so horrible, it becomes hard for you to ignore their nature. You will realize it was just you doing the good deeds the whole time. And so when someone experiences something like this, they end up having a huge paradigm shift that allows them to see, oh, there are evil people in this world. There are people who go out of their way to harm people. It's not that they made a mistake. It's not that they didn't realize they were harming someone. They actually go out of their way to figure out what it is that would hurt someone the most, and then they do it. When someone experiences this once, it's very easy for them to understand the world as it is. There are people who don't see this or don't experience this or don't run into someone like this, and so it becomes really difficult for them to understand that there are people who think like this. And I'm here to tell you, I don't want to scare you, but I think you should consider this. There are times where people can do damage that is irreparable. You can't recover from it. And so when you encounter someone who shows you signs that they are toxic, it's best for you to make decisions that protect you in the future. Because abusive people, toxic people escalate. They don't come to you manipulating. They don't come to you attacking who you are, your intelligence, or the way you look, or your family, your history. They don't do that. They love bomb you. They mirror you. They make you feel loved. They show you that you're someone that they care about. And then as you let your guard down, because this person is now around you all the time, they learn about your weaknesses, your traumas, the things that hurt you the most, the things that are important to you. And then they start the destruction phase. They start destroying those things. They destroy you from inside, and a lot of people only come out of it when the person has taken so much, done so much, destroyed their life. So I always say no to learning things from experience, because you don't know if the person you're giving the benefit of the doubt will attack you in a way that would be difficult for you to recover. You don't know how far someone is willing to go to harm you. You're not in their mind. You need to get in the habit of making decisions based on what people have shown you. If they have shown you, let me give you an example of two women who are friends with each other. One woman has the habit of wrecking people's relationships. One thing you must understand when you're friends with people who do this is they would have said something that shows you they don't have an issue doing this. Or they might have done it whilst they're friends with you, so you know they have wrecked someone else's home or destroyed a relationship. It's always surprising to me when someone is friends with someone like this. And then when that person starts doing things to attack their relationship, they are shocked. They're like, how could you do this to me? I thought we were friends. The question you should be asking yourself is, why were you friends with someone who showed you they're a home wrecker? Why were you friends with someone who told you stories of them breaking someone else's relationship? Why did you think you would be an exception? Why did you think that being friends would keep you safe from them doing that to you? When people show you who they are, whether they're doing it to you or someone else, take note of it. Don't ignore it. Don't act like you're the exception or special and you're immune to them doing that to you, because you're not. If that is their nature, they're going to do it to you, given the opportunity. There's no such thing as, I wreck people's homes, but I would never do it to my friend. There's no such thing. This is why I always say no to learning things from experience. People are always showing you who they are. They're always telling you who they are. And if you just listen to them. In a dating scenario, a lot of women go on first dates with men, and the men tell them things that they have done, either in a joke or even a confession. And there are women who will hear these confessions and still go on a second date with them and still continue the relationship. And then they're shocked when the partner does that to them. Why are we doing this to ourselves, ladies? If someone tells you I've cheated on my last 3 partners, what makes you think he's not gonna cheat on you? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Say no to learning things from experience. People don't have to show you 10, 20 times that they feel a certain way about you, or that they have a certain characteristic or a certain behavior in them that is harmful to other people. People don't have to show you this. If someone shows you that something about them is sketchy, if you are unsure of your judgment, the best way to go about it is to start watching them closely going forward. And if they do something similar a second time, that is enough for you to walk away. Eventually, you will have a certain list of things that you know if you see in someone, you don't have to wait until they do it a second time. There are just some situations in which people shouldn't get second chances. There are situations in which you shouldn't look the other way. Situations in which you shouldn't wait to find out. A lot of the times, people who do you dirty think you giving them a second chance is permission to do it again. Again, a lot of people will say, I just can't wrap my head around someone thinking like that. They do think like that. If you forgive someone, give them the benefit of the doubt, give them a second chance, there are people who think, oh, this is license for me to do it again. So that's why it's also important for you to say no to learning things from experience. Because sometimes you don't know whether the person you're giving a second chance thinks like this or not. Not all people deserve a second chance. And you need to learn to identify who you're dealing with. If you're still working on developing your discernment, working on identifying people with toxic personalities, working on identifying abusive people, it's best not to give people the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people struggle with this because they're scared of being wrong, thinking someone is toxic when they're not. I want you to challenge this type of thinking, because if you think someone is toxic when they are not, and you end the relationship, the only thing you're losing in that case is the relationship. But if you think someone is healthy when they are toxic and you keep them in your life, you risk losing a lot more, because toxic people will do things to you. They will harm you. So now you're losing your peace and you're losing whatever it is that they destroy. If someone does something to you and they're apologetic, but you're not sure, are they telling the truth? Maybe they apologize because you mentioned it. They didn't even bring it up themselves. Are they gonna make it right? You would rather let them go and change for the next person. You'd rather let them become a better person for the next person than risk letting them in your life and then doing it again. If you follow me on TikTok, you know my favorite phrases that I say on repeat are: say no to learning things from experience. Say no to giving people the benefit of the doubt who haven't shown you they deserve it. Don't wait to find out. It never has to get bad. If someone claims they're gonna change, let them change for the next person. You're better off thinking someone is toxic when they're not than thinking they're healthy when they're toxic. Not me and not today. Stamp these in your heart, cement it in your brain. You don't have to learn anything from experience. If someone shows you they have sketchy behavior, do not keep them in your life long enough for them to do something that you won't be able to recover from. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my favorite topic. This will not be the last time you'll ever hear me saying this. I will continue to say it. Say no to learning things from experience. Next week, we're going to be talking about psychological violence within female friendships. This is a very important topic. A lot of you have asked me to talk about nice nastiness, how to deal with toxic friends, frenemies, secret animosity, self-esteem attacks. We're going to be talking about all of that next week. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications. My name is Chidon Pofu. I'm your personal emotional intelligence detective, always keeping it real. See you next time.